Yo everyone, how are you all doing? Welcome back to another video, and in today's video I'll be giving you the only guide you will need on how to play Melusi in Operation Stillwave, because trust me, she's one of the strongest operators in the game currently. After the spot in the last video and reaching our like goal, I'm here to give you this guide, but before we get into that, make sure to leave a like on the video, and if you are new here, make sure to subscribe. My analytics show that over 70% of you guys watching are not subscribed, and that is mental. So if you're watching this now, make sure to click that subscribe button, it would mean a lot. And finally, make sure to check the description and follow me on all my socials so you can stay up to date with me. But that all out of the way, I hope you enjoyed this guide on how to play Melusi in Operation Stillwave. Now this video will be split into 3 parts, a breakdown of her character and ability, her arsenal, and finally the type of role you should play as her. Time codes will be on screen right now, so if there is a certain part you want to watch, here are those time codes for that. So first off, Melusi is a 3 speed, 1 defense defender for the Inkaba task force. Her ability to describe to a new player is a crossover between the barbed wire and the new proximity alarm. Her unique gadget, the Banshee Sonic Defense, will slow attackers down for 33% of their movement speed at 4 meters from the gadget, but getting 2 meters close will make you even slower. When in radius of the Banshee, it will give off a vibration sound alarm for any attacker within a given radius and line of sight of the Banshee to give intel to defenders that there is an attacker within that area. If you're not within the line of sight of her gadget but in the radius of the gadget, it will not work, and the same for if you weren't in the radius but in the line of sight of the gadget. Her gadget can be placed on the walls or on the floor and can only be destroyed by explosives or being getting close enough to melee it. That's if you can get close enough. You should always try and place her Banshees in the middle or on top of an object in an open area near or in the objective, so it's placed in an important areas for the objective. Having an OPO will also allow the gadget to reach its full radius and line of sight, and this will mean catching any attackers with the gadget placed in the middle of the room makes it so the attackers will need to travel the whole radius to get to the gadget, where at that point they should be dead. The gadget has some great matchups like Remind Jaeger, making the opponent waste their utilities to remove the frag denials as well as the Banshee. It can also work well with C4, being able to throw them over the Banshee when they're caught to get an easy kill as they're unable to escape in time, or simply you can hide the C4 onto the Banshee so it's covered and attackers will be required to get close enough to take out the Banshee.
There you go.
However, they might get a slight surprise when going towards it. Now that we've spoken about everything that there is to speak about on Melusi's Banshee gadget, it's time to move on to her loadout, and trust me, it keeps getting better. So to start off, I highly recommend you choose the T5 SMG. This is Legion's primary SMG with all the same attachments, and if you played even a little of Legion, you would know how strong it is. Although it may not look impressive with 28 damage, its high rate of fire at 900 rounds per minute makes up for that, and with the game that focuses on a one-shot headshot mechanic, getting more bullets out than your opponent will mean you have a better chance of getting that headshot before your enemy. The attachments which you use are all down to your personal preference, but for me I like to switch between the reflex and the hollow sight every now and then while using the compensator. The only attachment tip I will give is not to use a laser. I promise you this will make the spot you're peeking less obvious, and overall it'll be better for hiding in certain corners. And then for the other primary we have Frost Shotgun, the Super 90, and just like the M1014 which I mentioned in the Ace guide, it's not a great gun by any means. It's one of the worst shotguns in the game, and I'd rather use a pistol than use this Super 90. Unless you're playing casual and you want to troll with your friends, I highly suggest that you do not use this weapon in a competitive standpoint. Onto her secondary, which she has the R15, which is also used for Ella and Zofia. This gun is a great second choice, and with it having a sight on the gun allows for more precise aiming when aiming down sight. And finally, for her secondary gadget, she has access to the C4 and impact grenades. As we mentioned earlier, the C4 is great with her Banshee and will almost guarantee a kill, and just overall a good choice if you wanted to play more aggressively with her. But the impacts are also a good choice as well, as it is quite a versatile gadget, as it can be used for opening rotations for the team, or you could save them to finish an injury on an opponent and just raise the salt meter that they have that little bit higher. What you choose from here is all personal preference, but if you see your team's loadout and they have nothing to form rotations, I'd suggest you go with impacts to help the team out. And the final topic for this Melusi guide is how you should play her, and for this there is no distinct answer. Because she is a 3-speed operator and her ability is used for anchoring, you can sort of use her at any point. You can leave her gadget in the objective for a anchor to keep hold while you roam. However, if you don't feel like there's many people back on site, you can easily be an anchor as well by using your gadget to help support you. I would suggest that you play her in the way that you feel most comfortable playing her, whether an anchor, a lurker, or a roamer. It's all down to you. However, if you do see that your team are lacking in a certain area, I would highly suggest you play in that supporting role. But as that's it for this Melusi guide. Let me know what you thought of this video in the comments below, and if you have enjoyed the video or learned something new about Melusi, leave a like on this video. That is all for now, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.